Unleashing the Power Within: How Faith and Community Transform Lives. Welcome to a journey that will challenge everything you thought you knew about resilience, faith, and the extraordinary potential lying dormant within each of us. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into a conversation that has the power to revolutionize the way you approach life's greatest challenges. I recently had the privilege of sitting down with Annie Beckley-Newell, a beacon of hope and wisdom in these turbulent times. Annie's insights aren't just thought-provoking, they're life-changing. Her experiences and the lessons she's learned have the potential to reshape our understanding of what it means to truly thrive in the face of adversity. Annie isn't just another motivational speaker or self-help guru. She's a living testament to the transformative power of faith and community. Her journey from despair to triumph isn't just inspiring. It's a roadmap for anyone who's ever felt lost, alone, or overwhelmed by life's challenges. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Faith, community, aren't those just buzzwords for people who can't handle reality? Well, buckle up, because we're about to challenge those assumptions and explore how these often overlooked resources can become your secret weapons in the battle against life's toughest obstacles. Let's start with a question that might make you squirm in your seat. When was the last time you truly opened yourself up to the possibility of something greater than yourself? For many of us, the idea of relying on faith in times of crisis feels like admitting defeat, a last ditch effort when all else has failed. But what if I told you that embracing your spirituality could be the key to unlocking a wellspring of strength you never knew you possessed? Annie's story begins like many of ours, with a dream and a plan. Picture this: a bright eyed college graduate, full of ambition and ready to take on the world. But life, as it often does, had other plans. Just as Annie was poised to launch her career, she received a devastating health diagnosis that threatened to derail everything she had worked for. In that moment of despair, when the future seemed bleak and uncertain, Annie made a choice that would alter the course of her life. Instead of succumbing to despair, she turned to prayer. Now, before you roll your eyes or reach for the skip button, hear me out. Annie's approach to prayer wasn't about asking for a miracle cure or a magical solution to all her problems. It was about finding clarity, strength, and purpose in the midst of chaos. Through her daily conversations with what she calls her higher power, Annie discovered a resilience she never knew she possessed. She described to me how prayer became her anchor, grounding her in moments of fear and doubt. It wasn't about expecting divine intervention to solve all her problems magically. Instead, it was about cultivating a mindset of gratitude, hope, and perseverance. Annie learned to see her challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for growth and self discovery. This shift in perspective didn't happen overnight, it was a gradual process, one that required consistent effort and a willingness to look beyond the surface of her circumstances. But here's where the story takes an interesting turn. Annie realized that faith alone, powerful as it was, wasn't enough to weather life's storms. That's where the power of community came into play. And I'm not talking about your run of the mill social circle or professional network. I'm talking about a group of people united by shared values, mutual support, and a commitment to each other's growth and well being. In her darkest moments, it was the support of her faith community that lifted Annie up and carried her through. Think about your own life for a moment. Who are the people you turn to when the going gets tough? Are you surrounded by a network of supportive, like minded individuals who share your values and beliefs? Or have you been trying to go it alone, shouldering the weight of your struggles in silence? Annie's experience teaches us that there's immense strength in vulnerability. By opening up to her faith community about her struggles, she not only found emotional support, but also practical assistance. People rallied around her, offering everything from meals and transportation to simply lending an ear when she needed to vent. This network of support became a crucial part of her healing journey, both physically and spiritually. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, that's great for Annie, but my life is different. My problems are too big, too complex for prayer and community to solve. And you know what? You might be right. Prayer and community support aren't magic wands that instantly erase all of life's difficulties, but they are powerful tools that can change your perspective, boost your resilience, and help you find meaning in even the most challenging circumstances. Let me share another insight from Annie that really struck a chord with me. She talked about how her faith journey taught her to reframe her understanding of success and failure. In a world that often measures worth by material achievements and outward appearances, Annie found liberation in defining success on her own terms. Through her spiritual practice, she learned to see setbacks not as failures, but as opportunities for growth and redirection. This shift in mindset was revolutionary. Instead of being paralyzed by fear of failure, she began to approach challenges with curiosity and openness. What lessons could she learn? How could this experience shape her into a stronger, more compassionate person? This perspective doesn't just apply to personal challenges. Think about how this approach could transform your professional life. In the cutthroat world of business, where every misstep can feel like a catastrophic failure, imagine the freedom that comes from knowing your worth isn't defined by your latest quarterly report or your position on the corporate ladder. Annie shared a powerful example of how this plays out in practice. She described a situation where she faced a difficult ethical dilemma at work. The easy path would have been to look the other way, to prioritize short term gain over long term integrity. But guided by her faith and the values she cultivated through her spiritual practice, she chose to take a stand, even though it meant potential professional consequences. The outcome? Not only did she maintain her integrity, but her courageous action inspired others in her organization to speak up and push for positive change. This ripple effect of ethical behavior sparked by one person's faith-driven decision had far-reaching impacts that extended well beyond Annie herself. This story illustrates a crucial point. Our faith and values aren't just personal matters. They have the power to influence and transform the world around us. When we live in alignment with our deepest beliefs, we become catalysts for positive change in our families, our workplaces, and our communities. But let's be honest, living out our faith and values isn't always easy. It often requires courage, sacrifice, and a willingness to go against the grain. Annie's experiences remind us that this journey isn't meant to be walked alone. That's where the power of community comes into play once again. Surrounding yourself with a supportive community of like minded individuals can provide the encouragement, accountability, and inspiration you need to stay true to your values, even when the going gets tough. These connections serve as a mirror, reflecting back to us our best selves and reminding us of our potential when we lose sight of it. Annie emphasized the importance of actively cultivating these relationships. It's not enough to simply attend a weekly service or show up for the occasional community event. True transformative community requires investment, vulnerability, and a willingness to both give and receive support. She shared how her faith community became a training ground for developing empathy, compassion, and understanding. By engaging with people from diverse backgrounds and experiences, all united by a common faith, she learned to see beyond surface level differences and connect on a deeper, more meaningful level. This skill, the ability to build genuine connections with others, isn't just valuable in a religious context. It's a superpower in every area of life, from personal relationships to professional networking. In a world that often feels increasingly divided and polarized, the capacity to forge authentic connections across differences is more crucial than ever. But here's where things get really interesting. Annie's journey didn't just stop at personal transformation. She took the lessons she learned and applied them to her professional life in ways that are truly revolutionary. Remember that health crisis that threatened to derail her career? Well, it turns out that experience became the catalyst for Annie to start a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting young professionals facing similar challenges. She took her pain and turned it into purpose, creating a community that provides both practical resources and emotional support to those navigating the intersection of career ambitions and health struggles. The impact of this organization has been nothing short of remarkable. Annie shared stories of individuals who, like her, were on the brink of giving up, on their dreams due to health setbacks. Through the power of faith based support and community connection, these individuals not only overcame their immediate challenges, but went on to achieve things they never thought possible. One particularly moving story was about a young woman named Sarah. Like Annie, Sarah had received a devastating diagnosis just as she was starting her career in finance. The stress of managing her health while trying to keep up with the demands of her job left her feeling hopeless and isolated. Through Annie's organization, Sarah found a community of peers who understood her struggles. She was paired with a mentor who had navigated similar challenges and could offer both practical advice and emotional support. The organization also provided resources to help Sarah advocate for herself in the workplace, ensuring she received the accommodations she needed to thrive. The result, not only did Sarah keep her job, but she went on to become a rising star in her firm. More importantly, she found a sense of purpose that transcended her career ambitions. Inspired by the support she received, Sarah became a mentor herself, paying forward the kindness and wisdom that had been shared with her. This story illustrates a powerful truth. When we embrace our faith and lean into supportive communities, we don't just overcome our own challenges, we become agents of change, creating ripple effects that touch countless lives. But let's address the elephant in the room. In a world that often seems to prioritize rationality and tangible results, how do we reconcile faith with the practical demands of everyday life? Annie's approach offers a compelling answer. She doesn't see faith as separate from her day to day existence. Instead, it's integrated into every aspect of her life, informing her decisions, shaping her interactions, and providing a framework for understanding the world around her. This holistic approach to spirituality isn't about retreating from the world or ignoring life's harsh realities. On the contrary, it's about engaging with life more fully, armed with the strength, wisdom, and perspective that come from a deep rooted faith. Annie shared another powerful example that demonstrates this principle in action. She told me about a time when her organization was facing a major funding crisis. The easy solution would have been to compromise on their values to secure a large donation from a controversial source. Many board members argued that the ends justified the means. After all, wouldn't the good they could do with that money outweigh any ethical concerns? But Annie, guided by her faith and the values she'd cultivated through her spiritual practice, stood firm. She rallied the team to seek alternative solutions, encouraging them to trust that staying true to their mission would ultimately lead to a better outcome. It wasn't an easy path. There were sleepless nights, heated debates, and moments of doubt. But Annie's unwavering faith and the support of her community gave her the strength to persevere. And you know what? Their integrity paid off. Not only did they find alternative funding sources, but their commitment to their values attracted new supporters who were inspired by their principled stand. This story isn't just about making the right ethical choice, it's about the power of faith to give us courage in the face of adversity, to help us see beyond immediate pressures to the bigger picture. It's about the strength we draw from a supportive community that shares our values and believes in our vision. So, what does all of this mean for you? How can you apply these insights from Annie's journey to your own life, regardless of your personal beliefs or background? First, consider the role of spirituality or personal reflection in your life. Even if traditional religious practices don't resonate with you, there's value in carving out time for introspection and connection with something greater than yourself. This could be through meditation, journaling, spending time in nature, or any practice that helps you tap into a deeper sense of purpose and meaning. Second, take a hard look at your community. Are you surrounded by people who uplift and inspire you, who challenge you to be your best self? If not, it might be time to seek out new connections or deepen existing relationships. Remember, community doesn't have to be based on shared religion. It can be built around common values, interests, or goals. Third, consider how you can integrate your values more fully into your daily life. What would it look like to make decisions, both big and small, from a place of alignment with your deepest beliefs? How might this shift your approach to work, relationships, and personal growth? Finally, embrace the power of vulnerability and authenticity. Annie's story is a powerful reminder that our greatest strengths often emerge from our moments of weakness. By being open about our struggles and leaning on others for support, we not only find healing for ourselves, but also create space for others to do the same. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a challenge inspired by Annie's insights. Over the next week, commit to one action that aligns with the principles we've discussed today. Maybe it's reaching out to deepen a connection within your community. Perhaps it's setting aside time each day for prayer, meditation, or reflection. Or it could be making a difficult decision guided by your values rather than expediency. Whatever you choose, approach it with an open heart and mind. Be curious about what you might discover about yourself and the world around you. And remember, this journey of faith, resilience, and community isn't about perfection. It's about progress, one step at a time. Annie Beckley-Newell's story reminds us that within each of us lies an untapped reservoir of strength, waiting to be discovered through faith, nurtured by community, and expressed through living our values. Her journey challenges us to look beyond the surface, to find meaning in our struggles, and to recognize the profound impact we can have when we live authentically and courageously. So, I'll leave you with this question. What would your life look like if you approached each day with the unshakable faith, the supportive community, and the unwavering commitment to your values that Annie exemplifies? The answer to that question has the power to not only transform your life, but to ripple out and change the world around you. The journey ahead may not be easy, but with these tools in your arsenal, you're equipped to face whatever challenges come your way. It's time to unleash the power within you. It's time to embrace your faith, build your community, and live your values with unwavering conviction. The world is waiting for the unique gift that only you can bring. So go forth, be bold, and make your mark. Because when you tap into the power of faith and community, there's no limit to what you can achieve. The time for transformation is now. Are you ready to answer the call?